Hey everybody, welcome to the latest episode of Boomin with Bella. I am your host, Bella Lainez. Before we get into it, remember to like and subscribe here on YouTube, but also that you can like, subscribe, follow wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to follow at Boomin with Bella on all social media. In the social bios, there's a link which will take you to all things Boomin with Bella, and I promise there's some good stuff, so go check that out. Now, without further ado, it's been a while since I've done an episode like this where I kind of talk about everything that I've been listening to in the past month or so. I used to do them like pretty much every month. And if you've been seeing like what I'm doing personally, or as you can tell by previous episodes centered around my travels, I've been gone a lot. And I think that has had sort of a domino effect in like, I was listening to the songs that I had like physically offloaded and downloaded onto my phone that I can listen to when I'm in airplane mode. So a lot of that is stuff that's been out forever that I already know, that I've been talking about nonstop. And then I did have a cycle where I was only running to the same playlist for like a month, and I wasn't caught up on the new music drops because it would happen and I would be away, and I just like wouldn't have the time to like sit down and focus and go through everything that dropped in a timely fashion. I'm finally caught up, so that's great news. It's just been nonstop, and I'm not complaining. That's exactly how I wanted it to be. Like, I'm the one booking all those flights and stuff, so I'm eternally grateful that I've had the opportunity to travel so much, and that because of my travels, like my music taste has expanded. Or I've been exposed to different things that I didn't know that was going to happen. For instance, I had a minor like country swing when I was in Nashville in Texas. So that was like June. Sorry if you can hear the dogs in the back as well. As I've mentioned, I'm working on finding a better location to record. But I am on dog duty currently, so I need to be kind of close because he's a brand new puppy. He's a puppy. He's about 5 months old, so just want to make sure that I'm on top of his needs. Otherwise, I get stressed. I apologize. And I found even when I'm like down, even in the corners of my basement, you can still freaking hear him whining. So there's only so much I can do. Like I said, my travels have been influencing what I'm listening to, so a lot of it has been the same. But I'm finally all caught up, and I'm going to walk you through kind of in today's episode what I've been listening to, what dropped, the playlists, all that good stuff. Okay? But first, I would be remiss if I did not mention the passing of Rich Homie Quan and Fat Man Scoop, as well as Liam Payne. So for Rich Homie Quan, he was one of the first rappers that I ever listened to, or like, he kind of was one of the ones that exposed me to rap. I was put on by a friend to Type of Way, and that was one of the first rap songs I ever really, really liked. So I always say Rich Homie Quan kind of opened the door for me to get into rap music. I then followed up with Kevin Gates. How I got there? No, I have no recollection. Regardless, Rich Homie Quan was of significant importance to my hip-hop journey, as well as the journey of the genre and the evolution of the genre and the influence that he had on the rappers that we now have today, or some of the ones that came up after him. For Fat Man Scoop, obviously he's an iconic DJ, an iconic figure within the hip-hop genre, an iconic club voice. I always admire him and gravitated towards the songs that he was featured on. I even used to say that I wanted him to MC my wedding reception, because like, how funny would it be to be celebrating your wedding and having Fat Man Scoop yell into a mic, "Throw that thing, throw that thing." I would live for it. But he, I think, is was such a legendary voice. You know, he's so unique. And so that one hurt. I mean, I know he went out doing what he loved, but that one really hurt to get that news at the dinner table in Iowa City. Um, that sucked. I literally went to the bathroom, I looked at my phone, I saw like, I opened Instagram and I saw the first news. I think it was probably like E News posted or something, and I literally walked out of there and I was like, no, no, this can't be true. No. And I sat down at the table and I was like, guys, Fat Man Scoop just died. Yeah, that sucked. I was in denial for like a good 2 hours. Um, and then, yeah, Liam Payne, guys. That one's crazy. I also got the news when I was driving home from from the train station after a day of work, and all of a sudden my phone starts blowing up, and I'm like, what the hell? And I I stopped. I was in traffic, so I stopped at a red light, and I just looked over, and then I just keep seeing like, guys, Liam Payne, Liam Payne. Did you hear about Liam Payne? Liam Payne. And I'm like, what the hell happened to Liam Payne? And then so I opened the group chat, and there's someone sent a screenshot of Liam Payne dead at 31, and I was like, my jaw dropped. And then I was like, I can't look into this. I have to go home. I was like 10 minutes away from home, so I got home. I actually don't even think I made it out of the car fully. I like parked in the garage and I just like scrolled for like a good 10 minutes to just figure out, is this for real? Texting all my friends, because I wasn't a directioner. Okay, in my middle school, you had to be Justin Bieber or One Direction. I went the Justin Bieber route, so did like my cousins, my sister. We were all Justin Bieber girls. Um, but I had a lot of friends that went the One Direction route, and so like I knew it was something serious, and I knew that they were like huge. Like I wasn't gonna be like, and I knew that they were good. I wasn't gonna be like, just because I like Justin Bieber more, that ooh they suck. No. Um, I think that they are like the epitome of boy bands. I wasn't an NSYNC girl. I was not there for the Backstreet Boys or New Kids on the Block, but I don't even know if I've only heard about it, but but I think it's a different level. I'm trying to, so I feel like they're incomparable to One Direction. And like, yes, I know that it was like a huge thing, boy band fandom, whatever, but like with One Direction, we got the internet too. So it was like a next level of fandom. Um, and even the boy band fandom was different from just the Justin Bieber fandom because he was one guy. This was like 5 different guys. So it's crazy. And I was thinking about it, and I realized that like I'm a hip hop fan, right? We lose favorite artists, legendary artists, at least 3 times a year. You know, we're very used to loss. But like those in my generation who don't listen to rap, who aren't big rap fans, um, you know, who are more in the pop genre of listening, they don't experience loss. No other genre of music, maybe besides rock, experiences loss as much as hip hop and rap fans do. And the magnitude of losing someone like Liam Payne from a band like One Direction is insane. I cannot imagine what those fans are feeling. Obviously, I'm sad. It's a crazy, just the whole situation is crazy in itself. But then obviously, losing someone that so many people had admired for so long growing up is just awful, especially in the way that he passed and how young he was. I don't know, like, this is the first major loss that they've had, our generation has had, where it's like universal. So I don't know, it's crazy. My heart goes out to any One Direction fans. You have every right to mourn, you know, for your younger selves. My heart goes out to his family, you know, Harry, Louis, Niall, Zayn. I can only imagine. I can only imagine. That's really it. I also just wanted to give recommend a couple songs from these artists where you can find them in my playlists or Apple and Spotify libraries. Unfortunately, I don't have much of Liam Payne's solo music. I know I have stripped that down in a couple like pop playlists, but I don't think I have any other of his solo stuff. I think there's a couple One Direction songs in like a throwback playlist or like a Disney throwback playlist. Disney, I say with air quotation marks. You can find those on both my Apple Music and my Spotify. But for Batman Scoop and Rich Homie Quan, the playlists that I have are called Pretty Girls Like Trap Music, or PGTLM. That is available on both Apple Music and Spotify. You will find Rich Homie Quan all up in that. We have 2000s Rap, Fat Man Scoop in that one. That one is just on Apple Music. I'm in the process of getting it over to Spotify as well. You'll have Running Back Turbo, which has more Rich Homie Quan. That one is also only on Apple Music. I am also getting that onto Spotify. And on Spotify, we have Fat Man Scoop Yelling. I can add that to Apple Music if needed. Some of my favorite Rich Homie Quan songs and some of the songs that he's most known for are Flex, Type of Way, Lifestyle, Mamacita, Make That Money, Tell 'Em, They Don't Know, Blah Blah Blah, I F With You Girl, Daily Bread, and 34. Some of Fat Man Scoop's most known songs, or some of my favorites, are Drop with Timbaland and Magoo, Lose Control, that video of him recording his part of the song in the studio to Sierra dancing has been circulating on Twitter. I think I've retweeted it like 3 or 4 times, but it's one of my favorite like behind the scene videos of all time, just in general. I love it so much, the energy of it, just how that became Lose Control. I love that video so much. Go check it out if you haven't seen it before, but it's cool. Be Faithful, that's an iconic song, an iconic DJ, club, mix, etc., etc., etc. It's Like That with Mariah Carey and Jermaine Dupri, and Dance with Lumity. And then he has 2 songs that were recently released. Pro Freak, which is on Smino's album and features Doechii. And then literally just released in August, Too Many Friday Nights off of Blast's latest album. So those are some stuff if you want to check out these guys, you know, may they all rest in peace. And I just wanted, before I got into the rest of the episode, I wanted to just have a moment for them, to talk about them, because these are artists that were a big part of my life, and big figures, each in their own way, to multiple genres and their genre, and they all had influence. And I didn't want to sandwich this in the middle of the episode or depress you at the end of the episode, so I figured why not start it off, and that way it can only go up from there. Okay, so we're gonna go through some drops, and I'm just kind of like, I'm gonna rapid fire these out maybe a little bit, just because there's a lot, okay? I have my wonderful handy dandy notebook, lots of writing all over the place trying to fit everything in. So we'll get right into it. These are not in chronological order, okay? Please make note of that. This is everything pretty much from June to now, which is middle of October. Okay, so we have Coyote by Tommy Richmond. And I really like this album. I was pleasantly surprised. And I think this album really helped him solidify that he was not supposed to be in the hip hop rap genre. Leon Bridges. I love Leon Bridges. I will probably bring up a couple of his other songs in this episode, but I listen to him a lot, especially when I'm feeling like sunny morning aesthetic. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to put the words into it, but like warm, grateful, good vibes. That's Leon Bridges to me, and I love his music to just kind of like add a little spunk. Not even spunk, just like a light. It's like a warm light to me. We have Elite by Yandel that was recently released. I paused because some people were saying like I think also news of like more collaborations between him and Fate are coming out, and people keep saying like, yeah, you and Fate are great, but it's nothing like we seen in Yandel. Um, so yeah, that's the thing. Like we seen in Yandel, they're both great individually, but together they're just like something special. It's a shame. It's a shame they already retired the group. Solo by Centro Corleone. I really enjoyed this album. It was fun. I've been addicted to his voice recently, so so this album's kind of been on repeat. We have Lucky 7 by Rini. I talk about what's the name of his song? My Love. That song came out, I think, either 2022 or 2023. Love that song. That song immediately made me go to everything that he releases, and I'm like, add to library, add to library, add to library. I love it. Lucky 7 is really cool. I also think I was drawn to this album because 7 is my lucky number. So, but overall, a really beautiful body of work. His voice is just angelic. Definitely give it a shot if you like R&B. Speaking of R&B, we have Safe Flight by Jazz Carice. That's a brand new album. I really like the concept behind the album. I enjoyed her voice. I enjoyed some of the storytelling in the songs. Some of the messaging I can't get behind, but some of it I can. So there's some songs that I have added to my everyday playlist. Some songs are just in the library because I appreciate a good singer and a good song, even if like sometimes the lyrics I'm like, ah. Again, we have Jaguar 2, the deluxe version by Victoria Monet. This deluxe is crazy, and crazy in a good way. I felt like she low-key pulled out some influences from the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, and I loved it. Some of the songs too are not something I would normally listen to, but because it's a way that she, created this song with classic like instrumentals and instruments, and then had these modern lyrics on top of it. It was just like, my mind was blown. I really enjoyed it. So Jaguar 2, the deluxe. It's you should check out those. I think it's like 5 or 6 songs. Definitely check them out. They're fun. They're cool. Primera Musa, Omar Courtz, Listen. I was a little late to listening to this one. Because the whole drama with Kiki Montia, and I was on her side. I was like, wow, that's messed up. He's using her name without permission. But everyone keeps talking about how they need to be in Puerto Rico listening to this album, and I can only imagine that it's like absolutely everywhere. Like just you hear cars blaring and driving by, you hear it in the clubs, you hear it in El Cafetín, you hear it in La Placita, and I want to hear it. I want to be there and I want to hear it. But also, didn't I tell you guys last year? Didn't I tell you it was either after he did the song with Daddy Yankee or the song with Wisin? But I told you, this dude's gonna be something. He's gonna be something. I'll literally go and find that clip and put it right here because I said so. Omar Courtz, listen, I don't know you, but you have gotten some big names to collab with you, so I think you're gonna be something. So I'm keeping an eye out on you, and I think you guys all should too. He's up to something. He has something up his sleeve, and they're all kind of seeing something in him, so I think he's gonna be huge. And I was right, but I said this about Omar Courtz. I said he would be huge, and I said that there must have been something about him because he's got all the legends to work with him, and I was absolutely correct. And Primera Musa is an amazing album. I'm hooked. I'm actually hooked. From the sample of Work by Rihanna and Drake to the slight Jersey club, but then also like not fully, and it's just like I'm in it. The song with Raul Alejandro, like the whole album top to bottom, I love it. 2K16 with Bryant Myers, love it. Like, I will say though, okay, and I've noticed this because it's also on J Balvin's album Rayo. Lainez is trying to transition into reggaeton music, and that's fine and great, and I love him. I love his voice. But talking about Bryant Myers kind of made me think about this because I think he's having the same issue, but they haven't figured out how to match their flow to reggaeton cadence. And I don't mean this and like it's bad. I just find that like when I'm listening, maybe it's not even them, maybe it's a production mishap, but I've just noticed that the song on J Balvin's album and then one of the singles that Lainez dropped that's more reggaeton focused than trap, and then also there's a different song with Bryant Myers where he tried to do reggaeton too, and I was one ear is trying to listen to their voice, another ear is listening to the instrumental and the track, and it's just like a lot's happening. And so I don't know exactly what the issue is, whether it be like their cadence, they're not used to it, they're trying just to see if it'll work. Like something happened in the mix down or what, but it's just something that like keeps me from going back to those tracks. And I hope that maybe they're just like trying to get their feet wet, get used to it, and then they'll expand into the genre. I think that's what's happening. They're trying to expose them to that genre's listeners, so that eventually they can maybe bring people, like get people to listen to more of their trap stuff, or so they can eventually continue to make reggaeton songs. But I just noticed that they're not fully there yet. But that's not to say that I don't love both of them. I think that they are so unique. Their voices are so unique, one. Two, specifically, like Bryant Myers too, I think is a very talented vocalist, like lyricist, but Lainez blows my mind every time. So I don't know. I hope that they continue to experiment and then just kind of like work the kinks out, essentially. But regardless, Primera Musa is a great album to listen to. I think that would have been like the soundtrack to my summer. Had it come out like a little bit earlier and had I listened to it on time. But I think it's still great to listen to in Puerto Rico or just in general. Then we have Mud by Leon Thomas III. I think that he is so insanely talented and creative, like insane. I like this album. I think my favorite songs were more of the love songs on the album. But I definitely think that he is kind of like a Brent Faiyaz, kind of like a Party Next Door, that kind of R&B artistry. So definitely check him out. I did listen to Hello, How Are You Again with Wiz Khalifa by him, and it made me like want to tell him to link up with Timbaland or some sort of producer and get back on like that pop Flo Rida-ish kind of wave. I just need like a couple more songs. That's it. And that's not to say that I didn't like your album. I just want a little bit more like that. You know? Then we have Luo Boy by Asake. That album is so good. I was thinking to myself that I needed like more Afrobeats music, needed more Amapiano. Like there had been a lack for like a month or so, and I got fed. Between him, Fireboy DML, and Tyla, I got fed. That's a good one. Travis Scott is on there. There's a couple other artists that are featured on that album, and it's just fun. It's a good time. And I like appreciate some of the lyrics are in English or some of the words, so like you kind of get the gist of the message. And I think that's what I liked about it, is that because I'm in a hustle mindset right now, and that's what some of the songs on the albums were about. So I enjoyed it. We have mixtape Pluto by Future. I like this album. I love Future. I hope that he, period, I love Future, but I hope that he continues to kind of go back to like Monster Future. And I liked majority of it. I won't lie, there were some songs where I just couldn't listen. Um, and I just hope that he keeps kind of going down this route. And because I want more songs like Monster. I want more songs like Coding Crazy. I want more of the second half of Throwaway. Um, Ever since a video of him came out at a concert singing that for the first time in like years, I was like, this is the future that I want. Get in the booth, like release more like this. Was definitely something that I was like, okay, I could see myself, like listening to this casually now, because as we know, I haven't been listening to rap casually this year. It's gotten better. It's gotten better the more that I've been like, the more that I guess stuff has been happening in that world. We have Arayo by J Balvin. Like I said, that was a good album. I feel like it kind of like media-wise got lost in the masses, but it's a good album. Yeah. La Pantera Negra, My Towers. This album is growing on me. I liked it top to bottom when I first listened to it, but then I found myself recently like enjoying more than just like 3 or so songs regularly. Like you listen to an album and there's one or two songs that really stick out, and then you're constantly listening to those, but then you let the album play and then you find another new. That's kind of what's going on. Viva la Music, Jawali Randy. I love Jawali Randy, and this album was fun because they tried different infusions of music. Like there's a little bit of salsa, like there's a little bit of everything. Link, Vita Rockstar X or X by J.Co. I've been listening to a couple of his older projects ever since I saw them circulating on Twitter. And I was pleasantly impressed by this album. He also tried multiple different genres out. And I thought that it was good. And there's a couple songs that I keep coming back to, but it's definitely one that I need to like keep playing. Just because there's so much. There's so many songs. So like some of them kind of get lost in translation. So I need to go back. We also have Glorious by Glorilla. She honestly has been gaining a lot of popularity in the media, and I think it's all well deserved. I was surprised with how much I actually like this album. And same with Doechie's album, Alligator Bites Never Heal. I think that is an amazing album. I mean, she is so insanely talented and such a brilliant lyricist, and I really also like Glorilla for that as well. I think that her songs can sometimes almost be affirmations. I like her messaging. Tori released Tori plus a little bit more. Tori as in Tori Kelly, and the 3 songs that are on there are More Distance, Bottom Line, which features JoJo and You, and I need 1, a full JoJo Tori collab album. 2, more R&B Tori Kelly. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. We also have Goat Trappers, Greatest of All Trappers, Gangsta Grills mixtape by Gucci Mane and DJ Drama. He heard everyone say they want more mixtapes. Mixtapes is a lost art form in rap and hip hop. Like we shouldn't have gotten rid of them so fast. Like, the nostalgia mixtapes, whatever. Gucci Mane said, all right, here you go. Nobody's talking about it. Of course. And not only did he and DJ Drama bring this back, and it's like full on what you would hear from their tapes in 2005, just maybe a little bit clearer because Gucci's not behind bars recording right now this time. But he disses Drake. Yep, you heard me right. He said in one of the songs in the album, I talk about Toronto when I say I'm from the 6. So he addressed it. and I love him. While we're here, maybe it's time to go back and listen to Take That No Diddy by Gucci Mane. Just saying, it's fitting. Gucci Mane always on the right side of history. Sugar Honey Iced Tea by Lotto. I really liked this album a lot because it reminded me a lot of her Queen of the South album, and that was the album that really like put me onto her, and I really was like, oh, I like Lotto. I thought the samples were really uniquely done. Not uniquely done, but like done well. They weren't like just straight, the song all over again. The album itself is being well received. Her last album was not. So that's all positive. I played Cash Cobain by Cash Cobain. I've been listening to Love It off that album a lot. I did not expect to love Cash Cobain as much as I do, but there was a time when I was in LA, I was singing If This Were Mine by him every day. I wouldn't even listen to it, but I would just like look over at my cousin and be like, and start singing. Or I would just be like randomly walking around and I would start singing it. Like that song was permanently in my head. So when he dropped this, I was like, I gotta listen. And there's definitely some songs on there that I like. Love It being probably the top one. Okay, Doing It For Me by Larry June. I literally saw a tweet today that was like, Larry June is for those who really focus on getting their money, hustling, and actually like women. And that was so like, yeah, that's what Larry June is. I really think that his album is not hard. Like his albums are not hard to digest. They're very like consumable. I like to listen to them kind of like more like when I'm doing something casual, like driving, or where I'm not like thinking too hard, or when I'm not in the mood to like sing along to a song or exercising or something. Like it's kind of like something I'll play in like the background. And I kind of think in that way he's in his own lane. So check out Larry June. He's got some good stuff. Pero no te enamores by Fuerza Media. Oh my God, do I love that album. Okay, so one, all the Jersey Club, was not expecting that. When I pressed play on this album, I was expecting corridos. What did I get? Jersey Club, okay? And I am not upset about that even in the slightest. Actually, I enjoyed it more because of that, because it was Jersey Club and like house and dance infused. I was seated, and I recommend everyone to go tune into it, because yes, there are like some corrido songs. There's some like songs like Fresita were kind of like popish, reggaetonish, I don't know, kind of corridos, they're kind of like on the cusp of multiple different genres. I would recommend trying out Fuerza Media's newest album. I think there's something for everyone on that, so definitely an enjoyable body of work. I'll Always Come Find You by Blast. I mentioned it briefly before in the Fat Man Scoop section. Bangers, full of them. Definitely check it out. We also have Sincere by Khalid. I think it's just so beautiful. I've always loved his voice, and I think this album, he kind of like found it, and found like the perfect vibe for him. It's very R&B, very beautiful songs, Faith of a Mustard Seed by Mustard. I think honestly the return of Mustard is what's making me get into rap again. I loved this. Obviously some of my favorites are like the singles, Parking Lot, but there's something about a Mustard beat that just hits me every time. So that's a good album. And actually there's a song on there that whenever I want to listen, like whenever I'm listening to this 2024 playlist and I'm like, damn, I kind of want to hear Charlie Wilson's voice. So ironically, the song that he has that features Charlie Wilson always comes on like immediately after. Sunday at Zuri's, which is Odil's album. I'm obsessed. Sondela. I have an addiction to that song. I think I replayed it once, like for a good hour and a half straight. That song always gets at least 3 plays because it's amazing. Same with Stupid Dumb by Tyler, Tyler, um, Ty Dolla Sign and Mabel. I'm obsessed with that song. I think that their voices complement each other so well. I love the little back and forth in the chorus. That to me feels like a real duet. And we need more of that. I need more of them two together. It's a beautiful song. I'm also addicted to that one. Sondela and Stupid Dumb. Okay. Afro Vibes by Bratiango. I think that's a very fun album. It's very Afrobeat heavy. But it was like a great vibe to listen to during the summer. He is Rima. He is whoever he thinks he is. This album at first, I was like, I didn't get it. I'll be honest, I didn't get it. But boy, do I get it now, okay? I'm obsessed. As a Man is on repeat like daily. That is such a fun song to run to. I know it's a fun song to dance to, but to run to? Yeah. There's a couple other songs on there too that I've been on repeat. Like the whole album, I definitely underestimated. I love it so much. There's a video that always circulates on Twitter that's like, Rima is whoever he thinks he is, and it's like him turning single ladies into an Afrobeat song. And he is. He is amazing. He is the king. Todo está bien by Joterre, Jotaerre. I think he's up and coming, and I think that he has real potential. This album was really surprising to me. I was drawn in by the album art, and I stayed because of the music. It was good. So check it out, and keep an eye on him. Venikia, Danny Ocean. This album is like a love letter to Venezuela. It's a plea to the government, to the rest of the world to pay attention to what's happening. But the beauty of it is that it can apply, the lyrics can apply, like you know that his intention was for Venezuela. But simultaneously, like the songs work for other, like if you have a personal meaning that you want to assign to the song, if the lyrics that he's saying in the song speak to you for a different interpretation, they work for that. But essentially, like he did what he did. He's been brought attention to the United States about what's going on in Venezuela, and I think that because of this album, more people are paying attention, more people are listening, and I think that in that manner, Danny Ocean is on par with Bad Bunny. I love everything he puts out, and I was really, really impressed by this album. I love Rehuso already, but an acoustic version where he's like pleading his heart out to his country is just something so beautiful that I think almost might have moved me to tears. Nothing moves me to tears though, like No Woman, No Cry. Ironic, but the live version, I don't know why, it gets me every single time. But Venikia is a very, very good little EP, definitely worth a listen. My favorite song has been A mí también me duele, but the whole album is beautiful. I gotta find another adjective. Born in the Wild, Ray. Ray is just a genius. She's a genius. The way she can turn any of her songs into any different type of genre. Jazz, 50s doo-wop, whatever the hell she wants, she can do with her music. And I think she's like a generational talent, and like she should be bigger than she is. I mean, I know there's people that don't play about her, but I feel like she's not like wildly respected, and she needs to be. Solo Peso Pluma. I love Peso Pluma. I was surprised about like how he got into rap with this album, and then how on the tour he kept bringing out artists, like he brought up Gucci Mane in Atlanta. Like I kind of see where he could be going with this, and I'm very intrigued. I'm very intrigued to see if he explores that side more. Hearthstone Psycho, Don Toliver. My favorite song off of there is New Drop. I'll tell you that right now. I had that on repeat for a long, long time. Still kind of do. But I think that Heartstrong Psycho was a great album. My sister will tell you it's the best thing she's ever heard. Lainez Davy! I love Davy. Okay, I love Davy. I've been saying it for like months. Um, and I really enjoyed his album. I think my favorite song is Hot with Lunai. Lainez Davy, I've been listening to, oh, and Martini. I love Martini. Um, so, yeah, I really like Davy, guys. Coming Out Party by JP, that was fun. I like JP. I like where he's going. I really admire like his thought process when he's creating his songs. Like he says that he tries to keep all the melodies to in a way that he can transform them into any different genre. If he wanted to, he can make it blues, he can make it R&B, he can make it jazz. I really admire that kind of like talented thinking and musicality. So I really like that. Oh, and I also have the Give Me Everything Stripped Down version from Bridgerton in my favorite drops. Okay, I was listening to that for a while. I love Bridgerton. Nothing gets me more excited than being a part of a fandom. I feel like my generation, especially because we grew up with Twilight, Divergent, and Hunger Games, and Justin Bieber and One Direction, like we love to be a part of community and a fandom. And so I think that anything that allows that, especially like something like Bridgerton, I'm all in. Even though I didn't care for Colin, and Penelope, I loved this song. So now to go into what I listen to. So I'll give you like the main artist that I have written down. Obviously, take a wild guess. Take a wild guess. Ready? Take a guess. If you said A, Faye, B, Danny Ocean, or C, Raul Alejandro, or a secret, the fourth option, D, all of the above, if you selected D, you would be correct. Those are my guys. Oh, I also forgot to mention Una Velita. Bad Bunny dropped that song on the anniversary, the 7-year anniversary of Hurricane Maria, which is beyond insane to think about, that it has been 7 years since Hurricane Maria, not almost, but completely devastated Puerto Rico and changed the country's lives. Everyone in the country's lives. Like it has majorly impacted even what the island is today. And I have to mention quickly before I go back into everything else that I've been listening to, but that Bad Bunny, the Bad Bunny that we love, the Bad Bunny who is politically advocating for Puerto Rico, for the little guys, he's back. For those of my listeners who are not following Puerto Rican news, there is a huge election upcoming for them for governor, and Puerto Rico's got a couple more political parties than we do here in the United States. And as a reminder, they're not allowed to vote for the United States president, but they do have their own election for their governor. And there's been one party that's been in power for a while and leans a little bit to the corrupt side of things. And a lot of the generation that Bad Bunny and I and, like Gen millennials a little bit, they lead more independent in Puerto Rico, and they're really trying to get their independent party to build up. And they're really starting to, really advocating to put a stop and to vote against the two main political parties, and especially the one that's in power currently. And Bad Bunny's been buying out billboards, and they've been trying to censor him, and it's this whole thing. And then he dropped Una Velita, and when I was in Puerto Rico, I don't think I mentioned this in my Puerto Rico episode, but there was a lot of apagons. And even after I left, my cousins said that, it got to a point where they had to go stay in a hotel because they had no power. And they knew that the hotel had a generator. And, it worries me because in the place where my abuela lives, there's a lot of older folk, and it's just a scary thought because you never, like, they need power. They need power to live. It scares me in general, and I had never experienced it as bad as I had. Like, I had known this has been happening. I've been at restaurants, it's happened. Um, but this was the first time where it was like days. And I kept hearing about it from Uber drivers, from my grandparents' neighbors, and I don't know, it's scary. You see the billboards for everyone to switch to solar panels. Um, so Puerto Rico's, I really hope that, things can change. And I'm grateful that we have someone like Bad Bunny to advocate, and who's not afraid and just keeps putting it out there. And, in this great moment, I'm sure he's glad for his millions and billions of dollars, because he can just keep buying these billboards to encourage the younger kids to vote and to, vote for a better island. That's that. The song is it's intense. I mean, it's people were criticizing it because you can't dance to it. Okay, that wasn't the point. I don't know. It's empowering. That's what it is. It's empowering. So, Una Velita, Bad Bunny, that was dropped on the 7th anniversary of Hurricane Maria. Me amo, Puerto Rico, te quiero, and I wish for a better way of life for those who live there. Bring it back. Genres of music that I listen to: soca, a lot of salsa. Because I was hitting the gym hard, more rap. It was a brat summer. Brat summer for a lot of people. I don't know, I went out a lot this summer. Brat summer took over, okay? Can't lie. I listened to it. I like the album. It's grown on me, definitely a lot. But I wasn't like having the hardcore brat summer that a lot of people were, but it was just insane. And I think this goes back to my previous comment about how we long for community and for fandom and, to be a part of something. And like, it's kind of like one with Bridgerton, but then also like how we as a collective responded to Barbie and Barbenheimer and now Brat Summer. So I feel like we want this overarching thing that we can be a part of, especially during the summertime, and this year was Brat. I was listening to a lot of Gucci Mane. A lot of K-Tronada, a lot of Jersey Club, Tupac, obviously, after I read the book, and then I feel a rock resurgence coming on. I feel like I've said it before, but I was listening to a lot of Santana and a lot of just rock in general. Santana more specifically, but a rock resurgence. Some of the albums that I had on repeat: Pal Mundo, Wisin and Yandel, from top to bottom. Manifesting 2005, Fade and Yandel. Ferxolipsis, Fade, obviously because I went to the concert, but then just afterwards too. One of One, Gunna. Love that. I think Gunna honestly got me back into rap. I'm gonna be so for real, guys. I love Gunna. I don't know why that was like a big shocker, but Back in the A like really did something to me. Next time I'm in Atlanta, you best believe I'm gonna be posted up with that song on my story. Reflexa, Danny Ocean, duh. Fercho Volume 1, More, Fade, I mentioned that. Nadie sabe lo que va a pasar mañana, that has never left rotation. Un Verano Sin Ti has come back, and I think it came back because, like I said, old Bad Bunny is here. He's back. He came back to us. So, and my abuela says that it's funny that he went to Puerto Rico around that same time that I was, obviously. Crazy. And his family lives like a couple towns over from where my grandmother lives. He went back and he visited his family, and they were still without power, and that really enraged him. And yeah, sometimes you just gotta go back. Back to where your roots are from. So that also kind of goes back to my theory that LA was getting to his head. He needs to be in Puerto Rico, because I think I could sense, and that because he did come back, old Bad Bunny was coming back. Un Verano Sin Ti didn't feel forced to listen to. And not like forced, but like it just kind of flowed back and I was like, yes, this is what I'm talking about. This album is so unbelievably amazing. Timeless, Que Tronada. Que Tronada is like a go-to summer staple for me. I feel like for a lot of people, but specifically this summer with having the new drop of Timeless, it just like seamlessly worked out. The Trinity, Sean Paul, okay? I had a bit of a Sean Paul deep dive, también with my soca. Renaissance Beyonce has come back. I've been listening to that a lot, especially on vinyl. Playa Saturno, Raul Alejandro, that has been humongous on my replay. Like I said, As a Man, Rima, Love It, Cash Cobain, Treasure, Timaya. That's such a fun song. Somebody, by Nobi and Young Blue. I love that song. I love Young Blue's voice so much. Ay Lupita. I love that song so much. And I think it was a TikTok video that inspired me when I heard that. Like it was a video of girls dancing to that song at a wedding. And I was like, I need this song in my life. Tough. That is Quavo and Lana Del Rey. But you gotta listen to the Channel Trees remix. So good. I'm addicted to it. It's like fully house. It's so fun. Porcelain by JoJo. She has a little bit of like Jersey Club in there. It's like such a song about like healing and coming out of like, you know, a rough patch and blossoming. And then there's Jersey Club in the back. Jersey Club to the world! Then we also have Loose by JP. I really like that song too. I think I like it more than some of the ones on his album, but that's a single that I really, really like. Sondela, Odio, I told you about that. JT Comin' by JT. Freaking fire, gets me pumped. RD by Alejandro Armas, Soy Neo, and DJ Nelson. That's a really fun, cool song. It's trending on TikTok a little bit. Definitely check it out. It's more Afro beats infused, but it's so fun. So like summery. Embrace It by Endas. That was a TikTok song, or a song that I saw on TikTok, and then I was like, add to library. That one's fun. Una Verita, Bad Bunny, I mentioned that. Goodbyes, DJ Snake, and Naomi Sharon. I really like that song. It's just like, it's pretty because Naomi Sharon's got an amazing voice, but it's also like there's a little ounce to it, okay? Then we have The How, Raul Alejandro, and DJ Playero that I've been listening to a lot. Drop It On Me, Daddy Yankee, and Ricky Martin. I'm not even surprised that that's been on the list. Okie Dokie, Karol G, been listening to that a lot. I've been listening to a lot of Mañana Será Bonito and a lot of Karol G's old music because I watched her final concert in Madrid and I was just like, okay, this is insane. Like the amount of people tuned in to watch it live, and then the amount of people there, like she's just absolutely in another level. Perro Negro, Bad Bunny and Fade. I was listening to that a lot, especially in Puerto Rico. And Kiki by Yendri. That's another really fun song. It's like a little bit of dembow infusion. I just like to listen to that song, especially like when I'm getting ready for a night out, when I'm working out, you know, it's cool. Everybody Mad, OT Genesis. That's been like a good post-workout, post-pump on my drive to Smoothie King song. She-Wolf, Shakira. No words. It's just a great song. Go listen to it again. You're gonna get hooked. I did. Good Nights, Ness Julius. That one's a really, like, it's a cool vibe. It's a cool vibe. I've played it for a couple people and they've been like, oh, I like this. So that's a good one. Be Easy, Odio, we know that. Riverdance, Beyonce, that's never going away. La Romana, Bad Bunny and Al Alfa, that's come back in for me. Solia, P-fucking-R, Hablamos Mañana, those have all been huge Bad Bunny songs that I've had on replay. And then Espectacular, Raul Alejandro, and Sky Rompiendo, obviously. Ooh Baby, Lil Jojo, great song. Great song, Jersey Club infused as well. Set My Heart on Fire, Majestic, Celine Dion. That song is like, it's a it's just a fun little like mashup that's like perfect for summer. Is It You, CK? Love that song. I think I posted that on the Boomin with Bella TikTok and on the Boomin with Bella Instagram. I love that song. Same with Paris by King Promise. Both Afro beats, both fun. Same with like Loki by Belle, Joe Boy and Maria Becerra. Just good vibe song. Until the End of Time, Flyboy Fu. Listen, it's Jersey Club. It's Jersey Club. It's been on repeat. I'm not like just listen to it. Then come back to me. Tengo un Plan by Kiki. That's a good song. I like the original better than the one with Ozuna. I don't know why, but I am happy that he got Ozuna on a remix to help skyrocket him and get it played mainstream. But I do like the original. Rock the Boat, Aaliyah, but the Catronata Flip. That's a fun summer song that I've been playing a lot. Fuck Around and Find Out, Key Glock. You know it. Same with Let's Go, but the remix with Young Dolph. May he rest in peace. There's nothing that gets me going during a workout or after a workout like Key Glock and Young Dolph. Little L by Jamiroquai, Jamiroquai. I don't know. It's very disco infused and like funk, and I absolutely adore it. I'm in a huge like 70s disco, 80s funk song like vibe, and I love it so much. I'm here for it. And the Boogie Wonderland like mashup thing at the end of in Happy Feet, amazing, so fun. Forgot how good the movie is. Definitely need to rewatch. I think everyone should rewatch because I know it touches on more topics than we were even aware of when it came out. I think it talks on about like ableism, climate change, bullying, slightly racism. Like there's so many different things that it talks about, and it's just brilliant. It's a brilliant movie. So yeah, that's pretty much everything I've been listening to. Wow, what an episode, right? I've also been listening to the sounds of my dogs since they don't ever shut up. Love them to death though. And I just, again, so sorry if you can hear whining in the background. The dude needs to be skin to skin contact all the time, it seems. But yeah, that was today's episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And you know what's coming next. And that just about wraps this episode up. Before you go, like, subscribe, give us a 5-star rating to help push Boomin with Bella out to more people. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel so you never miss an episode of Boomin with Bella, but also don't forget that you can find episodes of Boomin with Bella wherever you get your podcast. Just make sure to follow along there. As well as at Boomin with Bella on all social media. There's a link in the social media bios that houses all things Boomin with Bella and special access to all playlists mentioned throughout all Boomin with Bella episodes. Thank you so much for tuning in, and talk to you guys again soon.